our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days, with one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. That's our 365 days. We've actually got 13 constellations, not 12. This same calendar is very close to the Mayan calendar, but it's also very close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean? What does nov mean? What does dec mean? It's supposed to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Jan is 11. Feb is 12. March is 13. April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This is the start of our new year. This is the start of spring, when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day 1, the day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ. April is month 1. And then we lost a month in there. Where is it? What's it called? We know what it's called. I'm not going to reveal it yet, but we know what it's called. But this is the true calendar. The Gregorian calendar is SMU. Shit made up by man. To keep us out of our natural cycles. We all vibrate at one of 3 frequencies. Did you know that?
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. This is our virus of the following steps. If exposed, remove from the phone.
Podcast for the curious mind. I don't know what that means.
Broadcasting live from a Chinese-made microphone in a town that has not one tennis court. I am Cussing with Hussing, here with the esteemed, the always questionable and yet full of color May Massacre. How you doing there, buddy? Oh, and we haven't forgot about the last person in this group, the top of the pyramid, Mrs. Sunbun herself. How are you? How are you? I love how we can see half of May's face. No, don't go in. Don't go in for it. You're better. Yeah, you're more mysterious that way.
Wait.
What'd you guys think of that whole 13-month thing?
Yeah, I've been on that for a hot minute.
It's very interesting, right?
I've heard of it before, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, well, I remember we had to study the Jewish calendar, and the Jewish calendar had 13 months as well. So there's a whole bunch of camera malfunctions going on right now. So that didn't really surprise me. It's the whole 13 thing, and
April being the first month.
You know, do you think that's why they call it April Fools?
Probably.
It's like, this is actually January. It's like a big joke. Anyway, I thought that was a little interesting clip I came across, so I figured you could little starter. Guys, we got some interesting stuff to talk about. Did you see the clip art for the show?
The whale?
Evil? Yeah, our whale's evil.
I mean, I love orcas. Free Willy was a banger when I was younger.
Well,
legit.
My parents begrudgingly.
I remember Shamu.
They begrudgingly allowed me to watch that by just because Michael Jackson did the theme song for it, and he was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. So they're like, I don't know if you should watch Free Willy, but
We'll let it slide.
we'll let it slide. Okay. So I am in North Dakota. So it's first time testing out our internet. So if it's glitchy, just ride along. Looks like it might be a little glitchy, but we got mostly clips. First of all February, I missed out on the fact that it was a very important medical month. Did you guys know this about the month of February? Guess what month for the medical community it stands for? What organ? I'll give you a couple.
The heart.
Got it. The heart. What do you say, Sun Bun? Is that your official show title name, Sun Bun? I'm just curious. Are you going to ride with that?
I'll ride on Sun Bun.
All right. I like Sun Bun. It rolls off the. Okay, here we go. Play this clip.
It's cute like me.
And with February being American Heart Month, it's important
Oh, May killed it.
to remember that heart issues can really affect people of all ages. And many people think that this is really an issue to deal with later in life. But Archaic's Andrea Uribe spoke to a doctor who says that we should really all be taking heart health seriously all the time.
A new study has revealed that young Americans don't feel that they're at risk for heart disease, even though heart attacks are becoming more common among young.
What is with this woman's voice? Like, could you be more monotone when talking about kids having heart disease?
Is she even old enough to be in that hospital?
It might be a children's.
Right.
You can land an airplane between those eyebrows.
Okay. It's
Young adults.
You know, heart attacks, heart conditions are more common as we age. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a heart attack in your younger age. The youngest patient that I ever saw a heart attack in was 21.
According to the American College of Cardiology, the percentage of young people
growing up, how many of your childhood friends died of a heart attack in your early 20s?
Not one.
Not one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also
having
didn't
a
have
heart
the
attack
jabby
has been
jab back
increasing
then
by 2
either.
Say what there, May?
We also didn't have a government pushed jabby jab. So
Well, now let's not jump to conclusions here. Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. It is interesting though. I mean, like, I don't ever remember anyone dying of a heart attack unless they were like 58 and literally you only saw them work and they went home, and I don't know.
percent
Now it's all over.
each year for the last 10 years, with COVID leaving a huge impact.
This occurs across the spectrum of patients, even young people. So the greatest per capita increase in heart attacks and strokes that we've seen have actually been in the 30 and 40-year-olds. And it is worse after having COVID. So
Okay, so the report here by NBC is the reason for all these heart attacks in young adults is because they had COVID. Naomi Venn comes in with 0 yeah, exactly. There's all of a sudden everyone's having a heart attack. So I did a little digging because I just sort of want to see what's going on with this, and I came across this this Dr. David Martin, right? And he goes to talk about the World Health Organization. Now, you remember, like, back in when COVID first started, the World Health Organization was handing out all these, little tidbits on how to make your life better with COVID.
yes.
Yes.
I don't know. Can't tell if you're frozen or you just dramatic pause.
I was just curious, like, more than yes, or Less than yes. Okay. So here is. Let me pull up a video then. So here is this doctor talking about the World Health Organization. Let's see. It's the myocarditis report by the CDC. And I thought this was just sort of interesting perspective that you don't get seen shared literally anywhere else.
Health Organization was a criminal racketeering organization as defined by the Sherman Act and the Clayton Act. And by that I mean interlocking directorates defined under the Clayton Act, racketeering, and express market domination and market controls, all of which are defined under the Sherman Act. This was a violation of the law when it was set up in the 1940s. And we have to go back to the foundation of what the WHO is and recognize since 1953, it has been exclusively a vaccine promoting enterprise for the benefit of the people who have commercial interest in vaccines. If you read their opening charter and all of the hearings that gave rise to their opening charter from Bretton Woods in July of 1944 to its actually founding charter in 1950 and 53. What's missing from those conversations is who is writing the checks. And back then, and you can look, and it's all in a matter of public record, Rockefeller Foundation and the Wellcome Trust were the check writers. Giant surprise. Why were they writing the check for establishing the World Health Organization? And if you think it was because we wanted to have information sharing and research and scientific collaboration, then you're actually not reading the actual records from those meetings, because those records were about distribution of drugs. Those were ways in which we could actually force drugs onto countries so that they actually had to take dumped drugs that were dumped out of Germany, the UK, and the US, and they had to adopt those. So you're right. I mean, exactly what you're saying. In an interconnected world where we have air travel and sea travel and we have all of the flow of people, we absolutely should have the ability to monitor and surveil the condition of health so that we have an awareness that says, hey, there's a problem, let's intervene. But the problem is that we have to have a financially disinterested party making those determinations and making those surveillance observations. Because the minute the people who have a financial incentive to have gain from the decision to declare a pandemic, the minute they're the ones who are collecting data, guess what data they collect? Giant shock. They're going to collect the data that actually justifies their existence. As long as the financial interest that dictates what product is going to be promoted is the one making the declaration of the pandemic, we have no possibility for accountability.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So it's saying right here that the World Health Organization, through its many funders, supports pretty much the passage of which drugs get to be passed out to what country, essentially, right? And which drugs to promote, which drugs not to promote. All right, so I looked into who are the biggest donors of the World Health Organization. So there are some countries and there are some personal donors. Now, number one donor to the World Health Organization, and this comes from the World Health Organization's website. They got a tab you can click on. It says, here's a list of our donors. And so you click on the tab, number one, any guesses? I'll give you a hint. It's a country. Number one.
Number one.
No guesses. Give me some.
Russia.
Oh, no. But you know,
is it the United States?
Close to Russia? No.
Oh,
it's
it
not.
is. Oh.
It's close to Russia. It's close.
Germany.
Nailed it.
Germany.
Germany is number one donor of the WHO. The second.
I almost said Germany first.
Yeah.
Good guess. The second, I think, will be even more surprising. I'm going to pull it up. So can you guys see this?
Yep.
Germany at $1,268,000,000. Number two is.
Of course it is. Fucking of course it is.
Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation followed by the United States of America, then Britain and Northern Ireland, and then the EU. I don't know who the Gavi Alliance is. Japan, Canada, Rotary International.
That's who I want to be a part of.
Bill and Melinda Gates. So, of course, we've done a little discussion of old Bill Gates on Phantom Fact Society.
What is that?
I don't know if you remember when we did the eugenics show. I talked about that country in Africa. I forget what it was. Republic of Congo, I believe, where they filed a form of complaint against Bill Gates to the UN. And in there, he talked about how in the process of giving them these vaccinations that were supposedly to prevent, what was it, like Depakote or something? It was to prevent HIV or HPV. It ended up sterilizing a bunch of their girls. Yeah. And then on top of that, they were more likely to die from malaria or other natural diseases from that area because their immune system had been diminished. So I just thought it was interesting that the number 2 donor of the So who do you think the WHO listens to when it comes to what's good and what's bad?
I mean, the scientist, Bill Gates himself.
Master of science.
Yeah.
And let's see how that has worked out for the United States of America. There's some interesting statistics coming in about these heart attacks. The one that got, let's see here. You see now, I'm so awful at this, but give me a second here. While
I mean, the United States can't even put their own people in check. They let them run rampant here. Bill and Melinda, like.
Well, there is a reckoning coming, May. There's a reckoning coming because the Congress has requested the CDC to do a study on myocarditis and its effect with the vaccine. So it's interlocking effect with vaccine, myocarditis. They ordered this quite some time ago, and the report has come out as of last week. Did you hear about this? The report came out, and well, I'll tell you what. It is 184 pages. I got a clip of it right here.
Information like this, inserts for the vaccine. Papers there, and there's nothing printed on it. I find that very interesting, disheartening, disgusting, and lots of other words. But then it gets better. It just keeps, wait, there's more. It just keeps happening. The CDC redacts every single word of a 148-page study on a myocarditis after COVID vaccination.
Every word.
CDC's like, you can't have it.
Oh, they printed it, but you just can't see it.
Nope.
You just get 148 pages of nothing.
Imagine the intern that had to do that.
Are the pages numbered? I want to know.
Oh, that's a good question.
Look at the guy's face, too. He's like, what the fuck?
But remember, it is only linked, according to the NBC report, and that was, I think, from a few months ago, actually. But it's only linked to people who actually got COVID. Unfortunately, the people that got bad COVID were the people who got vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I asked research to print the study for me. 148 pages. The entire thing is redacted. What good does a study do if there's nothing there? Then I want to know, wait, what might have been there that they needed to redact it? That's even scarier.
We're witnessing.
This is just, it's just ballsy on their part.
Witnessing an active cover-up of a colossal consumer product safety.
This is Dr. Peter McCall.
Safety debacle that is basically affecting the entire world. So in the United States, our CDC, National Institutes of Health, and the FDA are actively involved in a cover-up. And the same is occurring in the UK with the MHRA, Europe with European medicine agencies, and Australia with the Therapeutic Goods Administration. Something is going on that's very big. Each one of these companies that puts out a product has an obligation to produce 90 days of safety monitoring after their product comes out. It's a regulatory dossier. If somebody has a problem with the new product and they call the company like Pfizer, Pfizer has to write down what happened, and they have to collate that in a report and produce it and make it publicly available. When it came to 90 days with Pfizer, the first vaccine that came out, remember Pfizer was approved December 10th, 2020, Pfizer didn't produce a report. And then people started asking, well, what's happening with your vaccine? And Pfizer would not disclose what happened. And then it went to court. And the lawyer for the FDA stepped in and said they don't want to release Pfizer's dossier for 55 years.
Oh, this fucking country blows. Oh my God.
55 years. Your kids will be retired by the time we find out what actually happened to people who took the vaccine.
I mean, we'll find out that the government killed JFK before that.
They'd be more willing to admit that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We didn't do anything with the COVID thing, but yeah, we totally killed JFK. Yeah. No, look over here. Look over here.
Side note.
And there's aliens coming too, so get ready for that.
Yes.
Don't look over here in the COVID though. It's 55 years.
Get your eyes off of it.
Your kids will barely remember how bad COVID was when that report comes out. And then they'll probably like build some memorial and they'll be like, here are the last 20 people who survived the pandemic. And they'll march us in DC and they'll have a big "We're sorry" sign. We're sorry. But it gets worse. It gets worse because even though all of this stuff has been redacted, you can't stop reports coming out. Here is just a couple. This one I thought was interesting. Comes from the military.
So in July, Undersecretary Cisneros acknowledged the DMET data, the database working properly, and also acknowledged things such as myocarditis rising 151%. So what I did, I went in today, I'm doing the same thing, 5-year average. However, I'm comparing it to 2022, and I only am using fixed wing pilots and helicopter pilots, active duty. So we get hypertensive disease, 36%, ischemic heart disease, 69%, pulmonary heart disease, 62%, heart failure, 973%, other forms of heart disease, 63%, cardiomyopathy, 152%.
That's like 936% rise in heart issues in just the in just that specific military group. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Pilots, because that's who you want to have a heart attack while they're in the fucking air. Is a pilot. That makes so much sense.
I'd like to say it doesn't get worse, but it does because I want to share one more video about this, and then we can move on. Because I can tell you guys, it's a real fun subject to start off with. But here's this from this doctor.
Myocardial injury, myocarditis as it's called, is stunningly more common than has been thought of recently. The background should normally be 1 in a million persons might have myocarditis.
1 in a million would be an acceptable term for someone to develop myocarditis. It's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Myocarditis. The fact is that both in the U.S. military and in studies being done in Thailand, in each setting, it is proving out to be from 17 to 24%.
Not 1 in 1 million. 17 to 24%. That's 1 in 4.
An average roughly in both settings of 20%. A 20% occurrence of myocarditis proven by echocardiogram and proven by thallium scan and proven by echocardiographic changes with prolongation of PR interval are occurring in 20% of persons who have been given the COVID vaccine. 20% means 20 per 100, which means 200 per 1,000, which means 200,000 per million. 200,000 out of every million people that get the COVID vaccine will have electrocardiographic and other evidence of myocarditis, which means heart damage. People who have myocarditis live, 50% of them, for only 5 years. 50% will not have that terrible result, but 50% will die within 5 years. That's a medical fact. So we have taken a condition that should exist in 1 in a million people and turned it into a condition for 200,000 out of a million people.
This is going to be the biggest slaughter in the world's history when all this settles. I mean, not war, not terrorism, not anything is going to come even close to these final numbers when it's all said and done. I mean, it is going to be, and they all thought that it was for the better. And it's going to come out to not be, and so many lives are going to be lost because of this. And I feel like that's what they wanted from Jump Street. Oh, how can we paint this to act like it's doing good and it's to save the elders and the people that are unfit or unhealthy or whatever, to these people that thought they were doing good are just dropping like flies.
Brittany Bergen. Sorry I'm late. Sunshine's looking beautiful as ever. How do you guys keep up? I'm not for sure what you mean by that.
That's a skin routine. It really is. A lot of vitamin D.
You are glowing. You are glowing.
It's the vampire in me.
Okay. All right, too far. Anyway, I think, and don't forget that it was one of the major pushers of this was Bill Gates with his, ridiculous funding of all these different issues.
Not only is he funding all this, he's also taking all your land behind your back too. Like, I think he owns the most acres in America.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Work your 5 jobs, fucking die because you took a vaccine you thought it was for the better. But, I'm just back here in the background collecting.
Something to, I don't know. I mean,
what a piece of shit.
I know he is. I don't, he's still ticking though. Hey, at least I don't throw Melinda into this because
she's a man.
Shit, honestly.
Melinda Gates. Have you seen her? Doesn't look like a man.
She's a man. I don't know. I don't think they're alive. Whoever is playing the role of Melinda and Bill Gates.
She divorced him after she found out he went to Epstein Island 30 times.
Yeah, but didn't they do? It was a couple. I'm gonna look at my Twitter. Send it in the chat. They don't even look the same. Like Melinda, the picture that I saw, she has a man face.
Are you talking about Princess Kate?
No.
Oh, I'm very confused. I've never heard that Melinda was considered a dude. Let's see here. Definitely clones at this point. Oh dear Gordon, we started on the clone talk already. I just thought it was interesting she divorced him after she found out about it.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. So that's why I don't throw her name under the bus when it comes to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation anymore. What is he right, Sunshine? She's got the look of surprise.
You know who Melinda Gates looks like? Do you know who Melinda Gates looks like?
No.
She looks like the spokesperson that killed Budweiser.
Dylan Mulvaney? No.
I'm looking at her right now, and she looks like that weird little trans dude thing. Just older.
All right, let's Google this. Let's find it. If they were also sued by the country of India I don't know if you guys knew about this because they were okay. They were also doing HPV vaccinations in India without getting parents' consent to over 13,000 girls.
Yeah. Population control, my guy.
Yeah, no. Oh my God.
Share that screen for the viewers at home.
You know what? I apologize, May. I thought you were just being like showing some trans hate, but what the fuck is that? Bill. Oh my God, look at the forearms.
Oh.
I mean, Mark McGuire had arms like that when he was pumping his butt cheeks.
I didn't see that picture.
Steroids.
Look at that. Yeah, I'd cover it up too, Wall Street Journal. Yeah. Okay. All right. Point learned. All right. Anything else
Just
you guys want to say about the whole myocarditis situation? Did you know it was this bad?
I did not know.
No, it kind of makes me want to cry. Like, it's very upsetting. Like, I know so many people that got that vaccine and get the boosters and all the things, and I'm like, hell no. Me nor Jude have any of that shit. And I'm not like an anti-vaxxer. We've got, measles and shit like that, all the, I guess, normal stuff, but COVID, not so much.
One more note I want to bring up here is the World Economic Forum. They work closely with you guys have heard about the World Economic Forum. There's a bunch of bureaucrats trying to put together a game plan. Do you guys know who runs the World Economic Forum? The great evil of today's world. Her name is
No, but I'm excited.
Isabel S. Maxwell. This chick right here.
No, Maxwell.
Yeah. You know who her sister is?
Fucking
Ghislaine Maxwell is her sister. And Isabel got her claim to fame for creating
Ghislaine.
Yeah, that's her sister, her younger sister. Isabel got her claim to fame by inventing the very first internet search engine. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
Was that Us Jeeves?
It's just a little.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just a little interesting. Keep an eye out. World Economic. All these people, man, it's incestuous. It
just runs in circles. I mean, the circle needs to be broken, like we talked about last week.
Yeah, it does. It's
I'm ready for aliens at this point. Come break the circle. Let it explode. Let us just start over. If I've got to go, we got to go. Like,
I think
bring on the apocalypse. I say, let's go.
I think I got let's cleanse the palate with a Pitbull Super Candidate of the Week. You guys down for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pitbull Super. You want to go hard like a dog? You want to go hard like a dog, Big Daddy? Not just any dog. Hard like a pit bull. Oh, yeah. Then you need Pitbull Super.
Pitbull Super. Cut it short.
You big stud.
Yeah. Pitbull Super Candidate of the Week.
Today I'm going on my first blind date.
Oh, this fuck.
Dating can be really difficult when you're non-binary and a bearded woman at the same time.
You're a fucking man.
That is rough. She is beautiful. I may have been in North Dakota for too long at this point too. So
get out.
The response I got from dating apps was not good. I got told I was disgusting a lot.
Yes.
So I'm feeling a mixture of nervous and excited. But
get hit by a bus, you might win that battle, but get hit by a bus, please.
Listen, it's just trying to find love, May. How dare you? And so, I mean, let's see how the blind date
I
goes.
feel confident about my date seeing my beard. It's not something that makes me feel self-conscious anymore.
That's good. That's good.
This poor bastard.
Oh, fuck no. Jesus Christ. Get the fuck out of here.
Today.
And that is, I mean, I feel like either way, whoever's gonna tap this poor is gonna need some. It's gonna need some definite.
Pitbull Super. You want to go hard like a dog? You want to go hard like a dog, Big Daddy? Not just any dog. Hard like a pit bull. Oh, yeah. Then you need Pitbull Super.
Pitbull Super.
Whoever climbs into those bed sheets is going to be on the board of Pitbull Super. You're going to need that much.
I feel like that'd be a great commercial for Pitbull Super. Like, you know, if you can get it hard for this you can get it hard for anyone. I mean, there's possibilities there. Marketing design. We could help this pour it out with maybe making some money. We got some comments here. How dare you call her an it? It was non-binary, right? I am. How dare you call her a her?
Yeah.
They.
Women with
I think you're the correct pronoun is they, them.
I do not care.
Fine, fuck.
I do not care. Fuck them. Women with facial hair deserve love too. Speaking from experience. May, you want to tackle that one?
Everybody's got a little bit of a mustache. I mean,
it's true. It's true. Not a chin strap, but maybe
not fat titties that look like female titties.
Pitbull Super of the week never disappoints. We've got a Is It Weird segment. All right, where we play stories. Play two stories. You decide which one is the weirder of the two. All right, so I'm going to start off first with Tyson Foods.
About to change drastically, and not for the better. This week, Tyson Foods announced that it will be permanently closing its pork factory in Perry, killing around 1,200 jobs in a town of just 8,000 people.
Now, this is a town I grew up very close to, and I have talked to people who have worked for this plant, and they are all freaking out because these are decent paying jobs, especially in maintenance positions and all. You know, it supports a whole town and the surrounding small towns around it. So it's a big deal, right? But why is it the first weird story of the week?
Perry residents struggle to cope with mass layoffs. Tyson Foods has its eyes on a different class of workers. The company is now offering new jobs to asylum seekers in other states like New York. Bloomberg says Tyson's tracking migrants in a massive database. They scroll through the data like Facebook. You see a worker you like, tap, hire. They even had a job fair.
The job fair included assistance with legal work to help attain a green card status. So they'd get you a lawyer. They would get you a lawyer to help make sure. And guess how many migrants they are looking to hire?
2,000.
Right? That's sort of what I thought, to replace the plant in Perry, Iowa. 40,000 workers.
Jesus.
40,000.
So Tyson is just getting rid of everybody.
Getting rid of all the American labor. Getting rid of all the American labor they can. Yeah. 40,000 workers they're looking to hire. Now, can you imagine if those jobs went to... Think about how many towns that would support? How many ranchers? Think about all of the people that would benefit in your community. And instead, they're picking them up in New York and they're shipping them to Indiana, to Illinois. I'm sure there's got to be some coming to other parts of the Midwest, including Iowa, and maybe not through Tyson. But yeah.
Asylum seekers. Is that how they do it?
Well, that's one of the ways that they do it, Jesse, and we know that the Biden administration has made it easier to basically pretend that economic migrants are asylum seekers. It's one of the reasons why we have to change our asylum laws in this nation. But, Jesse, think about how much of a contrast this presents between the Trump economy and the Biden.
Okay. All right. That's just typical Fox stuff. Yeah, that's our...
Not only do you lose your job, they're going to move into your town, steal your shit.
Now this is a marketing faux pas by Tyson, because they have, different wings. There's a marketing department, there's a, HR department, and then of course there's, the cost department, which determined Perry, Iowa, was no longer sustainable. They did not communicate with the hiring department. So they didn't know that the hiring department was going out and taking advantage of all these subsidized programs ran by our government to help illegal immigrants get wages. And so they were bragging about it the same day the news came out they were closing Perry, Iowa. So as you can imagine, this caused quite a fuss among the world. So a huge faux pas by Tyson Food. I'm not saying you should ban yourself from eating Tyson chicken.
You should.
But, I think, I bought Great Value chicken.
I don't eat Tyson chicken anyway.
Yeah, fuck Tyson. So, yeah, that's just a little local weird news that hit home here in the Midwest region. But do not worry, my friends, because there is yet one more story to the Is It Weird? And that is... let me pull it up here because I am seamless with pulling up video clips. Boom, right here.
Oh, yeah, there's laws. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrests.
So what happened was this woman buys a house for a couple $1 million, goes there, and I forget the reason why the camera crew was with her, but anyway, it goes on.
You say your name. We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago. They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally.
Can you imagine the balls of calling the police on the...
The sad thing is they're educated. They know the laws. Like I just saw on TikTok, this stupid fuck was talking about how you can do this and giving everybody pointers on how to do it and how to be successful.
This gets worse.
The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
They got one out.
And escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
Minutes later,
Okay, so
a
locksmith
showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed,
That's not going on.
the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it
there's-
works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show
the
it.
proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
So the homeowner gets arrested for trespassing.
This just makes me sick. Why people still live in places like that? Like, it breaks my heart for her because that's her house that she got when her parents passed.
What?
And
Yeah.
now she's got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, go fight into a corrupt court system, and she's probably going to lose. And then, like she said, that house is probably worth $1 million in that neighborhood in New York alone, and some fucking piece of shit is just going to claim it, and it's going to, like that's sickening.
Oh, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And you were right about the TikTok video, May. I actually clipped that. I was going to play that next for everyone to see, because I don't think people understand just like how organized this is. This isn't just like some random poor people that stumble across the house. This is organized. Here's this. Okay, so he's speaking in Spanish, but I will translate for our audio listeners. I have thought about invading a house in the United States. I found out that there is a law. I don't know why he's screaming. That says that if a house is not inhabited, we can seize it. Guys, here in the United States also applies of land invasion, and I think that will be my next business: invading homes, abandoned homes. Now, since I have looked at with my other friends, they have told me that they have already taken about 7 houses. And as the saying goes over there, you have to look for the return. And the return right now is to invade a house, since we are not in a street situation. So, I mean, there's like people that are just, I don't know. It's all right. So
People voted for this, so fuck it. I mean,
is it weird? Which one wins today, gentlemen and gentlewomen?
my answer is yes. But
Yeah. One or
it's-
two.
They both suck. I think
the house thing. The house is my
Yeah.
vote. My vote's the house, just because it's your home. Like Tyson is your job. It's horrible. It's super dickish. It's uncaring, but it's still just a job. Your house?
Yeah, because now think about it. If you own real estate and you don't have tenants in it, and say like you're in between tenants, if they want to take it over, and say you're out of town, or say you can't put eyes on it for 30 days, and depending on the state you're in, they can. Then you have to take them to court. It's so yeah, I agree. Number two for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Is it weird? I think we need to have a good news moment of the week, don't you think?
Yeah.
God damn it. Who's at the front door? Who is it?
Well, hey, man. Why do you look so glum? It looks like you could use some good news. See? Do you feel better now? It's the good news segment of the week. Brought to you by Rob Jackson's Sticky Green. Good news of the week.
Good news of the week brought to you by Phantom Facts. This is done. The only story I could find of it was done in Spanish. So once again, I will have to translate for our English only listening audience. The story is February 1985. Now, in February of 1985, there is a group of whales that are captured in the ice that 20 feet thick, and they can't get out whatsoever. And so the Russians hear about this from the natives over there in between Alaska and Russia, saying that, this is going to be a huge fish kill of over 4,000 beluga whales. And so what does the Russian Navy do? Well, they send out their icebreaker, and the guy proceeds to take his ship all the way to where the ice patch is, and to lure the beluga whales, he begins to play some Tchaikovsky composer music, which was what I was playing at the beginning of the show. He's most famously known. Anyway, he proceeds to play this music on the speakers, and the whales, all 4,000 of them, the beluga whales, proceed to follow him through the cratered ice, which is only a width of a ship, and he takes them to the open sea. And they begin to leave, and it was known by the Russian society as Operation Beluga. And that's the story. That's good news. Story of the week. Thought, we could use a little nice.
So he saved him, or he just let him go so he could kill them?
Way to take it dark.
No,
Way to take it dark. You saved a bunch of whales. Why?
Well, the one video had the fucking an orca by its tail, fucking killed. So I didn't know. I didn't know what we were doing.
I do have a theory about this though, May, because I think you are right. The Soviets don't save anyone without a price.
Yes.
Whatsoever. And I think the same can be applied to the beluga whales, because last year, here I'll just play the video file here. Let me see here. Boop, 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 boop. Give me a second. There it is.
Is this beluga whale giving away Russia's secrets?
Hey.
This big guy was found swimming in Arctic Norway by a bunch of fishermen. It caught their eyes because it seemed to be tied up in something.
Just a normal, happy beluga whale, the great grandson of the ones that were saved.
A closer inspection showed it was a harness, tightly clipped around its body. They didn't want the whale to get away without inspecting further, so they bribed it with food so it would stick around. One of the fishermen jumped into the water to try to remove the harness. The Norwegian Directorate of Fisheries says the harness had writing on it, reading Equipment St. Petersburg, and it featured a mount for an action camera. Reports say the Russian military has been known to train sea mammals. Officials say the whale may have escaped from a Russian military facility.
So they have been using beluga whales for several decades as spies. Ah! He didn't save them. He just captured them for another purpose. Oh, May, you're muted. I can't, or something's muted. Yeah.
What intel can you get from a beluga whale with a GoPro on it?
We did a story when the orcas were all attacking in the Straits of Gibraltar, because I wanted to see if some scientific research had been done on these animals to be used as military. And I came across a couple articles about how their sonar is used by the military and like guiding submarines and a bunch of other like trial projects. But also, I mean, like if you've got a bunch of beluga whales and you're making sure no ships are crossing where they're not supposed to be, I mean, you're going to see it on the GoPro. I don't know. I just thought it was sort of interesting that the Russians are using beluga whales to do a little spying. So now the Norwegian Defense Ministry is all involved in this because they found this beluga whale off their shoreline.
Interesting. I wonder what'll come of it.
Probably nothing. But I thought it was interesting. May, you sent me this story in Tennessee about they are finally going to attempt to ban first cousin marriages.
Yeah. What a struggle that's going to be.
Did you know this was legal, Sunshine?
Finally.
Finally.
I knew it was legal in some states.
Yeah, those family trees will have branches on them now. They won't go straight up.
Guess how many states it's legal in?
Yeah. Alabama will be the last one.
If you had to guess how many states where it's legal to marry your first cousin, what
12.
would be 12 states? Okay. All right. Oh, so many. It's 26.
God.
26 states where it is legal to marry your first cousin. So, hey, if you want to pass it on in the genes, you have over half.
Country is okay with marrying
your. Yes, it's
cousin.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
What are they? Can we see them?
There was a lot in the Midwest. I did not have a map. I should have pulled one up. I just, thought 26.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. I guess.
What's worse, marrying your first cousin or going on a date with that thing that had hair on its face? What life would you choose?
I'd definitely marry my cousin. Absolutely, 100%. Let's make some inbred.
I'd invite the whole family.
Yes, Dave.
Let's see here. So you're so delayed, Sunshine. Well, Did you guys one last story? I guess it's time for some Molech news.
Everyone, you can sing along too. It's Molech News. Molech News. He's out there to eat kids and Jews. It's Molech. Molech News. It's an update, everybody.
Trans rights. Girls' high school basketball.
Molech News, everybody, with the trans story of the week.
We queer up trans rights. Girls' high school basketball team forfeits a game.
Do you guys, just by sheer guess, think this person, Al Ferguson, is pro or anti rights for the gays? Just, I mean, not even gays, the queers, or I don't know, the LGBTQ.
I'm gonna go with pro.
Why?
What
What?
was it? The glasses?
The bright orange frame glasses. They sort of look like librarian glasses.
Do they even have lenses in them?
They are
Can
slightly.
I poke my eyes? Can I poke my fingers into his eyeballs?
You can. I mean, it does sort of look like you could do that. But this guy would definitely wear fake glasses. He's the type of guy that thinks I'm an anchor now on YouTube. I need fake glasses. Okay, here's the story.
Because it refused to play against a team with a transgender player. Mid-Vermont Christian School in Junction had scheduled to play Long Trail School in Dorset on February.
Now, this is March 7th, 2023. I'm building a case here. All right, so it started here in Vermont.
February 21st, but the game never happened. The Vermont Christian High School forfeited a girls' basketball game because the opposing team had a transgender player. Vicki Fogg, the head of the Mid-Vermont Christian School, said the team decided not to participate, quote, because we believe playing against an opponent with a biological male jeopardizes the fairness of the game and the safety of our players.
Now I know what you're saying. How dare they? How dare they? That's horrible. Let them play.
No,
Let them
I agree.
play. What? Well, you know what? You are in the minority there, May and Sunshine. And just to prove it, look at what happened to this school for making such a radical, hateful decision. I mean, it's a truly hateful decision, and they get what's coming to them.
Following the end of the Vermont high school winter sports season, the Vermont Principals Association responded to the recent news a high school is opting to forfeit a basketball playoff game rather than compete against a team with a transgender opponent. ABC 22's Ken Drake joins us now to break down the announcement.
On Monday, the Vermont High School Association made the decision to deem all sports at Mid-Vermont Christian ineligible for any VPA sanctioned activities or tournaments going forward.
So completely destroyed the athletics department of that school for being as they should have, right? As they should have. I think we can all agree that's ridiculous. Now, the reason why excuse me, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's this sets a precedent. So this happens last year. You don't play a trans kid that's a dude, you're going to face repercussions. So now you sort of understand why schools feel obligated to let these games carry out. And so last week there was a basketball game here where there was a male who is identified as a female, and you're watch it trying to get a rebound.
Fucking Charles Barkley in there.
Weakling. This basketball player injured 3 players on their basketball team. I mean, he just wrecked them. This guy is more than 6 foot tall. Playing in this high school game, and injured 3 girls by halftime. She bangs her head so hard.
That girl's parents should have beat the living dog shit out of fuckboy's parents. In the
why aren't they? Because they're fucking pussies. I could totally see May just charging the court and decking a dude if someone did that to his daughter. You know?
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not playing that. That's just pathetic. I mean, like, oh god,
It's just flat out not fair. Like, wasn't there an Olympic transgender person that won a medal or something like that
for like weightlifting? Like destroyed the weightlifting.
I thought it was for swimming.
Oh, it could have been. Well, I know that was for the NCAA championship. The swimmer was a dude that won it, and that female that came in second place is going to town, suing everybody because she lost out on a huge
Hell
amount
yeah.
of money by not winning the championship, even though she was the best female there.
Yeah. I think there should be a separate category. Now, when it comes to high school sports and shit like that, like that's a little harder. That transgender girl should be on the boys' team because she fits in with them size-wise. It's not fair to put her against, girls are just naturally smaller for the most part.
That's intolerant because she identifies as a girl. She identifies as a girl. How dare you misidentify her and put her with a group of men with their dicks hanging out when she is not comfortable?
In my opinion, this is just like cat boxes in the fucking school system. Like, it's dumb. There's lines. Oh my god.
Lines have been crossed.
People are ridiculous.
Lines have been crossed. There's no saving it.
With their wieners crossing those lines.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's I mean, he like grabs the ball like it's no big deal. Fuck you.
That male right there, he's not gonna get recruited to play D1 women's basketball.
No, but he's gonna have his best years in high school. State championship, bro. I mean, sister.
He's gonna be at your local watering hole back in
what's gonna happen when he goes to
2023. Yeah.
You're damn right.
Probably won't.
Well, this stuff is happening in your schools. You know what I mean? Like this. If you got to find these things out that are going on. I mean, it almost feels like you don't want to put your kids in public school.
They can't put them
they
anywhere.
don't care. They don't care about the safety of your kid, and that is proof right there. They were willing to let 3 female basketball players get wrecked and injured. Could have been career-ending injuries. Playing against a 6-foot-tall dude just for the sake of diverse equality. This is absolutely
everybody's sensitive little.
Yeah, but they're gonna sacrifice your kids' well-being. Your kids' well-being doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, that coach deserves an ass whooping. All those people, like that's. Yeah, but you're right. You got to do your homework and where you're putting your kids at nowadays. I mean, there's too many kids getting their ass beat to a fucking pulp in school. You can't ride the bus anymore safely. You can't do it's gotten out of hand. It's not like how it was when we were in school.
Yeah.
Like my 4-year-old, she is so excited to go to school, and I am deathly afraid of her going to school.
That one chick that got her butt whooped, where she goes into a seizure, still has to come out of a coma. And I mean, curb stomped, thrown into the concrete multiple times. I couldn't even finish watching it. It was so rough to watch. And the fact that someone's filming it the whole time. That's public school. The
white kid that gets beat up by the lockers by the 4 or 5, 6 black kids and nobody does anything. They just laugh and there's no way that went on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we think we put our kids in the rural country, poor education schools and hope to God that they learn to read and write by the time they're seniors in high school, because at least they're not going to get their ass beat.
They don't have to read or write. They get graduated no matter what now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No child left behind. That's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah. So why, what is the point of it? If they're not going to get an education, and they're going to get beat to death.
Yeah.
But
I saw an interesting story that Washington, you don't have to take the bar to become a lawyer in Washington. So soon you're not even going to have to go to school. All you got to do is just send in a Crayola fucking resume and bullshit your way through it. And you're going to get, whatever job you want.
I have different opinion on that, Meg, because I think did it work having a bunch of lawyers be judges? Because there's a lot of shady judges because of
Yeah,
that.
true. Very true. Yep.
When that punished people that had no right to be punished. Maybe I don't know. Maybe trying it
with
the
some
other
more
way.
common sense, or I get it. I didn't think about it like that.
Because lawyers have done nothing but fuck this country.
True.
And they're the only ones that can be judges. And they have to go through esteemed colleges and pass their bar exams in order to attain it. Maybe it's time to try it a different way, because it didn't work this way. I don't think it did.
No, I agree. I thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I didn't.
It's the same thing. Like, I saw one of my friends on Facebook post about the judge in Texas that sided with illegal immigrants in their right to carry arms in the U.S. And
What?
he
In
posted
Texas?
this. Yeah, and he posted this: Marxist judge, Obama appointed judge, is going to destroy the country. I think that's real short term. I think this is a great precedent for Americans who also have rights to these guns, because the Bill of Rights supersedes citizenship. It is rights given to individual beings, and one of those rights is to defend yourself, both foreign and domestic. So you have a right to carry. And so this judge technically is more of a constitutionalist than people that are posting on there what a Marxist judge she is. If it was a Marxist judge, she'd make sure that no one had guns.
Mhm.
So a different way to think about it. I'm all for gun rights. More people carrying guns, the better. After a year of all the crazies going nuts with their guns and then getting shot and killed, it balances itself out quite nicely, I would think.
Take it back to the Western days.
Right. I mean, just obviously there's got to be court of law and all that stuff, but guns are not this taboo thing that we should be so afraid of. I think we should finish with a moment of Zen.
No.
No, you don't think we should cover with a moment of Zen?
No, I was gonna say about gun rights. Like, I'm all about guns and gun safety and how you acquire guns, but the black market's out there, so my opinion really is fucking void.
Well, and this whole charging parents for these school shootings, and like this little girl that got beat up in high school, they should go after the parents, and let's see how long it lasts. Let's see how long it lasts then, when parents are, if you've got full domain over your child till he's 17, 18, then if he kills someone, guess who's going to jail for the rest of their life? You are.
No.
Because you raised that little brat,
Yep.
and that brat's going to go to jail too for the rest of her life.
And that bloodline.
Mental illness has nothing to do with how you raise your child.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Anything else you guys got for me this week? Breaking news, conspiracy news. I just wanted to get this out here before we go to our moment of Zen. This got released just like 3 hours ago. The director of the Little Rock, Arkansas airport,
I saw that.
has had the ATF roll up on him yesterday at 6 a.m. Shots were exchanged. He was shot. He has just passed away today. They were supposedly serving a no-knock warrant, and when the local channel there went to get information from the ATF on what the warrant was, they said that they would not release that information to them. It is on a need-to-know basis. So some just really strange. Oh, and the name of the airport he was a director of is the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport. So,
Bodies, baby, bodies.
I mean, it can't. I don't even think it's
No
related.
matter what.
I don't even think it's related to the Clintons, but it's just, I mean, it's just a crazy coincidence that it also, and also I got a clip of his brother talking about this, and I thought that was sort of interesting because he is not buying into this at all.
Fox 16 News update. We have new information tonight following yesterday's shootout between a Little Rock Airport executive and ATF agents. Tonight, for the first time, the brother of the man who was being served that search warrant is speaking out. Our Katrin Asaf spoke on the phone with Matthew Malinowski, the brother of Clinton National Executive Director Brian Malinowski. He says right now they're in the dark and they want to know what happened yesterday morning.
It just doesn't make any sense, the way they did it.
One day after this quiet neighborhood in West Little Rock woke to the sound of gunshots, Brian Malinowski's brother, Matthew, is sitting at an attorney's office, thinking of what to do next.
I think the next thing is go to the house and take as many pictures as possible of all the damage.
Malinowski was the subject of an ATF search warrant early Tuesday morning. The executive director of Clinton National Airport caught in a shootout that left one agent hospitalized and Brian on life support.
He's mortally wounded. He was shot in the head with a high caliber weapon.
As evidence is collected and neighbors adjust to the shock, Matthew is holding his own investigation.
Right now, we're trying to gain truth and facts.
Trying to figure out why his brother was targeted.
Brian has no incentive to do anything illegal.
And what led agents to break in the way they did.
The ATF should have never raided him like they did. They could have thrown tear gas in there. They could have thrown a shot grenade in there. They could have just said with air horns, hey, get your tail out here. We're the ATF.
While Matthew says Brian collected weapons, guns, and coins at his home on Durance Court. He says he's never been in trouble with the law before. And with no word from law enforcement on what exactly was in that search warrant, Matthew is left planning for an uncertain future, with more questions than answers.
I'm confused. I'm tired. I'm living on adrenaline at the moment.
Katrin Asaf reporting. Matthew also telling Fox 16 they will pursue litigation as much as they can. In fact, he met with attorneys today to see what can be done. He also said Brian's wife was next to him during that shootout. An ATF agent was shot as well, and we're told they're expected to be okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
He'll be all right and get to go.
Because his own team shot him so they can plan it and make it look like it was a shootout.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What movie
That's how
was
that sounds for sure.
That does sound like that.
Fuck it, man. What a scary place to be.
That's Little Rock, Arkansas. How do you open fire on someone and then tell everyone you're not going to tell what the warrant was?
True.
I don't think that's legal. But it is now time for your moment of Zen.
And now, a moment of Zen with Adam Weideman.
You can't buy alcohol after 10 p.m. in Latvia. That is unfortunately true. But what you can buy at any time is candy. The only thing you need to know which candy to get. So if you get this type of candy, for example, then what do you know? There is alcohol inside. I think this is totally perfect because people who designed this candy have thought of everything. Now you don't have to choose anymore between alcoholism and diabetes. It's a win-win.
Your moment of Zen brought to you by Adam Weideman.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Next Thursday is another Toppy Thursday. Anything else you guys got to say before we farewell?
No.
Got it all out of our system. Thank God. That's what the show's for. Have a happy weekend.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. This is our advice to take the following steps. If exposed, remove the phone.